Attention passionate new York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. If you've been following the Giants this season, you know things haven't exactly gone as planned. At 2-4, the team's secondary has been a point of concern, allowing an alarming 2.6 touchdowns per pass attempt. That's a statistic that simply isn't sustainable if the Giants want to make a real push toward the postseason. And with the trade deadline looming, the team is actively exploring options to strengthen that unit. Rumors from insiders like Ian Rappaport indicate that the Giants are eyeing a significant move, one that could shake up the NFC East and the entire NFC playoff picture. And no, it's not just wishful thinking. There's a real possibility that the Giants could target one of the most versatile safeties in the league right now, Derwin James from the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, let's dig into what makes this potential trade so intriguing. The Chargers, who are also sitting at 2-4, are in a bit of a rebuilding mode. Their defense, despite having a star like James, has struggled mightily this season, allowing an average of 28 points per game. The Chargers are in a tough spot cap-wise. They only have about $2.8 million in cap space, and it's clear they're prioritizing extensions for players like Joey Bosa. So, it makes sense that they might consider trading a player of James's caliber to free up some cap room and focus on their future. On the other side, the Giants, with roughly $1.4 million in cap space, are looking to bolster their secondary, especially after some injuries and inconsistency. They're targeting someone who can bring versatility, leadership, and game-changing ability to that back end. And that's where Derwin James comes into play. This guy isn't just your average safety. James, who's been an All-Pro 3 times since 2018, is a true Swiss Army knife on defense. He's been dominant this season, with 3 interceptions, 52 tackles, and 4 sacks in just 6 games. His PFF grade sits at an impressive 89.1, putting him among the top safeties in the league right now. James is known for his ability to do it all: cover deep, play in the box, rush the passer, and even force turnovers. In fact, his career stats include 8 interceptions, 16 sacks, and over 520 tackles. He's a guy who can change the course of a game, especially when paired with the right scheme. And for the Giants, bringing in a player like James could elevate their defense significantly, especially considering their current struggles with explosive plays and missed tackles. So, what does this trade look like? According to the latest rumors, the Giants are willing to offer a third-round pick in the 2026 draft along with Tyler Nubin, the promising rookie safety who's shown flashes of potential but is still developing. Nubin, a PFF grade of 71, is seen as a young player with upside, someone who could grow into a starter. The Giants are also looking to clear cap space, which aligns with the idea of moving Nubin and a future pick to acquire a star like James. The Chargers, on the other hand, would get that third-rounder, a young safety with potential and perhaps some cap relief, especially as they're trying to rebuild their defense around their star pass rusher, Bosa. Of course, the impact of such a move would be massive. James would instantly become a key piece of the Giants' defense, transforming them into a much more formidable unit. His ability to play multiple roles, covering tight ends, blitzing the quarterback, and anchoring the secondary, would give defensive coordinator Wink Martindale a versatile tool to disrupt offenses. Imagine a secondary with James, Xavier McKinney, and other key pieces working together, reducing big plays and forcing more turnovers. His presence could also help in tackling and YAC, yards after catch, by tightening up coverage and making receivers work harder for every yard. From a statistical perspective, adding James could mean around 90 tackles per season for the Giants, along with a significant reduction in YAC allowed, potentially dropping from 5.4 yards to under 4 yards per reception. His knack for forcing turnovers is another game changer. Career-wise, James has a turnover rate of about 1%, which is very high for a safety. This means more interceptions, more fumbles forced, and ultimately, more points scored off turnovers for the Giants. And let's not forget his role in schemes. His versatility allows him to fit into multiple defensive looks, making the Giants' defense more unpredictable and harder for opponents to game plan against. The addition of James would also have a psychological impact. He's a leader on the field, a player who commands respect and elevates the play of those around him. His history of injuries has been minimal this season, with no setbacks so far in 2025, which is promising. Though he did deal with a hamstring injury in 2024 that limited him to 12 games, he's healthy now and ready to contribute at a high level. His presence could boost the entire secondary's confidence and performance, especially when paired with Xavier McKinney, who's been solid but could benefit from a playmaker like James next to him. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a game-changer for the Giants' playoff hopes. The odds have shifted recently, with Caesars betting odds improving from plus 25-0 to plus 14-0 for the Super Bowl, and a big part of that optimism is grounded in the potential of their defense. James's impact could be similar to what Jamal Adams brought to the Seahawks back in 2019, adding that extra punch, that extra layer of defense that makes teams think twice about attacking the back end. His ability to contribute around +1.2 points per game in projected production makes this a move with tangible upside. For the Chargers, this trade could be a way to rejuvenate their defense, especially if they're focusing on younger players and draft picks. Moving James might seem like a loss now, but with the right return, they could set themselves up for a future rebuild, especially if they're prioritizing extensions for other key players like Bosa. The Chargers are trying to stay competitive, but they also need to think long-term, and acquiring Nubin along with a draft pick could be a step in that direction. Now, for the Giants, this isn't just about filling a gap. It's about elevating their entire defense, making them more competitive against the league's best offenses. With James on the field, their chances of causing turnovers and limiting explosive plays increase dramatically. His presence would give the defensive scheme a new dimension, allowing Wink Martindale to dial up more aggressive blitz packages and complex coverages, knowing they have that security blanket in James. It also addresses one of the team's most pressing issues, covering deep routes and preventing big plays, something James excels at. This potential trade also raises questions about the future. If the Giants do pull the trigger, it sends a clear message that they're all in on contending this season. It shows they're willing to make bold moves to improve their roster and chase a playoff spot. And for fans, it's an exciting prospect. Seeing your team acquire a player of James's caliber is not just a short-term fix, but a long-term statement about their ambitions. Of course, as with any trade, there are risks. The Giants are betting on James's health and consistency, and the Chargers are betting on the value of the draft pick and Nubin's potential. But the upside here is enormous. A healthy, motivated Derwin James can be a difference maker, elevating the Giants' defense from decent to elite and possibly changing how teams approach them offensively. It could even be the final piece needed to turn a competitive team into genuine contenders, especially if they can continue to build around that core. So, what do you think, Giants fans? Is this the move that could take your team to the next level? Would you be excited to see Derwin James donning the blue and white and transforming that secondary? The trade deadline is just around the corner, and if these rumors turn into reality, it might be one of the most impactful moves in recent Giants history. Keep an eye on this story, because it's not just about one player. It's about giving the Giants a new identity, a new edge, and a real shot at making a deep playoff run. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Giants.